obviously we've got the virtual session for session 12. So we're looking at sleep and fluid intake in particular. This is going to really be an important session because we need to be making sure that we are having enough sleep, obviously, because we need to make sure we're okay for the morning. So we can then make a nutritious breakfast instead of, if we were tired, maybe starting the day on a downer, which isn't going to help much at all. Also, sleep can speed up our metabolism, and as long as we don't eat too late into the night, a good night's sleep can really set us up for the day. We're also going to be talking about fluid intake. Fluid intake is super important, like we say, especially for metabolism as well. With adding our water in and making sure we're very hydrated, which we'll be going through today. And yeah. So we obviously want to do our weekly goal review. We do this every single week, especially when we're doing the online courses, the virtual courses. So with our weekly goal review, we want to, so for the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, basically, did we hit it? So obviously this is session 12. So session 11, I believe, was takeaways and eating out. So how have we adapted our diet? Have we hit the goals that we kind of set out to hit? If we have had a takeaway or we've eaten out, have we actually managed to hit that goal of eating something healthily, going for those tomato-based curries over the creamy ones, going for smaller portion sizes, etc. So I'll give you 5 minutes if you want to pause the video and just have a little look at that and tick them off if you have. Cool, so we'll move on now. So these are the session objectives today. We're going to discuss sleep and how much is needed, to speak about food choices and patterns altered with the lack of sleep, to show the group sleep tools and apps, to discuss the importance of water intake and discuss caffeine in the diet, and also to discuss alcohol as well. So to start off with, we're going to mention sleep. So like it says there, you may not have thought that sleep affects your weight journey, but it has a big impact. So we want to be hitting around 7 to 9 hours of sleep on average per night for an adult. And then I would ask the group, however, this is pre-recorded. So what else do you think affects our sleep? So we do have things like caffeine. Eating before going to sleep would affect our sleep because our body's not switching off. It's still digesting some of the food we're having. And also if we're having caffeine, it can stay up in our body for up to 10 hours. So we need to really watch that sort of intake coming up to sleep time. The good sleep hygiene, so to improve our sleep and to actually make our sleep optimal, we want to exercise regularly. So if we're destroying our bodies, we're getting naturally tired, which is good. So our body needs the rest, and our sleep will then come easier. We want to reduce caffeine intake, so we want to be aware of how much we're having, because if we are too alert and we're forcing our body to stay up, that's not healthy at all, and that is going to affect our diet, our digestion speed, and how we actually process food. And then we want to reduce the consumption of foods high in sugar. So we don't want to be having sugar near to the time you're going to go to bed. We're going to have obviously high sugar spikes, high blood sugars, which is going to keep us up for ages, keep us going, and then we're going to crash. And it's not going to be a good crash that you want to go sleep crash. It's going to be one of those mucky crashes that we're going to be a bit hot and bothered and a bit tired due to the fat sugars digested. And we want to relax before bed if we can. So things like this. So it goes hand in hand with turning off devices. When we're with devices, we want to turn them off maybe an hour before bed and actually relax your body before bed, and don't just kind of go, okay, I'm on my phone, I'm watching TV, and then go to bed straight away. We want to try and relax ourselves, de-stress our body, and then we're going to get a better sleep as well. Also, that ties into recovery. So if you are working out a lot, having a good sleep is crucial to recovery as well. So allow for the correct temperature, lightness in the room. So if you're too hot, if you're too cold, we've all been there. It's very hard to sleep. So we want to make sure that we are properly hitting those temperatures. And if you are cold, shut the window. If you are hot, open the window. Simple as that. And then limit alcohol consumption. So we want to limit alcohol consumption, definitely. although you've probably had it before where you've drunk quite a lot and you kind of crash out and you go to sleep really easily, it's the quality of that sleep is going to be pretty poor, because we've still got all that nonsense in our stomach, all that alcohol in our stomach, and our body's not going to digest that properly, leading to hangovers, etc., which can also lead to further snacking, and digestion of foods. Cool. So the average uh, human body is made up of 50 to 65% water, and you should drink between 1.5 to 2 liters of water per day, which is equal to 6 to 8 glasses. Now, it's very easy to go for, and we can be hitting our water pretty easily. It's about five glasses or 4 glasses of what 500 milliliters of water. So if you have one when you wake up, one with your lunch, and one with dinner, you're going to be hitting that naturally anyway. Now, we want 150 milliliters of max orange juice is fine. We want it to be 100% orange juice, not from concentrate, because we don't want those added sugars into our diet, and we're drinking our calories away, which we don't really want to promote. Diet drinks and sugar-free drinks, they're going to be okay to have. They're going to be very low in calories, and sugar is a lot worse than a lot of sweeteners out there. So there we go on the right: alcohol, tea, and coffee with sugar, sugary drinks, and fizzy pop. We want to try and avoid, just because it's not going to hydrate us properly. Whereas if we're having the things on the left, we are going to get some good hydration from them. So, are you drinking enough water? So, the easiest way to measure if you're drinking enough water is a urine chart. You could probably search this up online and find something similar. Um, of course, if it's red or brown, I would probably go to the hospital, and have a look at it and have a look at it properly. But if you are feeling dehydrated and you don't really realize it, you might realize it when you go to the toilet. You might see and go, okay, I need to start drinking more. And that might be a common error within your diet as well. Cool. So caffeine. So the recommended amount of caffeine is 200 to 400 mg, which is 2 to 4 mugs of instant coffee per day. And what I'm going to get you to do is, if you do have coffee, I want you to pause the video, go check your coffee, what you have, and compare to how much you would normally have in a day. Be honest with yourselves and see what your mg is. It should be on the back of the coffee you have, and you can kind of compare if you actually are gonna be over. So I'll give you about five or so minutes to do that now. So pause the video and do that, please. Cool. So once you've done that, hopefully we are under and we're not going over it. But caffeine can remain in the body for over 10 hours, as I previously said, so it can affect sleep if drank in the afternoon. There are decaffeinated options to try if you're worried about how much caffeine you are drinking. Also, it's best to mention things like tea will have caffeine in. They won't have as much, but they still have caffeine in. So if we are having teas at night time with some biscuits, some warm biscuits, then that's also going to affect our sleep, which we may not realize. So drinks such as coffee, tea, fizzy drinks, energy drinks contain caffeine. Energy drinks contain high levels of caffeine. So in Red Bulls, Monsters, they've got full sugar and full caffeine. So try and avoid them as much as possible, and we can go for the zero sugar versions. I know Monster do a good range of zero sugar versions, whereas you can try that out first and try and get used to that before coming off them. Cool. So when we talk about alcohol, women and men should drink no more than 14 units of alcohol each week. Drinking more than this over time can cause liver disease, heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure, and some cancers, like we said there. So this is what 14 units looks like. So 6 pints of 4% beer, or 6 glasses of 175 milliliters, 13% wine. Now, what we want to make sure that we're doing when we're speaking about this sort of thing is, with the beers, we don't want to just leave them all to one day. We don't want to save them up. So, or with the wines as well. So if we do want to drink throughout the week, can we split them up into 2 pints on a Tuesday, 2 pints on a Thursday, 2 pints on a Saturday, or split them up into ones? It's going to be much better than going for 6 on a Friday night, because not only is that going to affect your metabolism when you're drinking, it's also, you might even get drunk from it, make some stupid decisions like going for some loads of snacks, ordering a takeaway to saturate that hunger, as you are going to be feeling really dehydrated as well. Cool. So alcohol and weight gain. So alcohol leads to weight gain. Many people are unaware that drinking alcohol adds to their calorie intake. So alcohol contains 7 calories per gram. This is almost as much as the most calorie-dense nutrient of all, fat, which contains 9 calories per gram. So what can we do to reduce our alcohol intake? So first of all, obviously carbohydrates has 4 calories per gram, protein has 4 calories per gram, and fat has 9 calories per gram. So fat is obviously the most energy-dense nutrient. However, alcohol has 7, so it's definitely up there with the higher amounts. So if we are consuming a lot of alcohol, we're going to be consuming a lot of calories. And when we consume a lot of calories, that's going to put us into a calorie surplus most of the time. And then we're going to put on weight. So calories in, calories out does play into this. And alcohol does have a lot of calories. So what I want you to do now is pause the video. And what can we do to reduce our alcohol intake? I want you to try and think of five examples that you can do to do your calorie intake, and I'll give you 3 or 4 minutes to do that, and then come back to the video. Cool. So hopefully that's a brief kind of view on everything that we said there. So we just want to make sure, in summary, that we are limiting our alcohol, we are limiting our caffeine, and we are getting good enough sleep. Now, it definitely goes under the radar with how much we are consuming. And I think we don't realize how much caffeine we are consuming, and also when we go out, how much alcohol we are consuming as well. So, for example, in a pint of beer, you're probably looking at around 250 to 300 calories just from one pint. So if you are having 6 in one night, then obviously that's going to put you in a massive surplus for that day. So you do need to be aware of that, and it's something that we should really stress over, considering the sleep part of things. And sleep is just good for the metabolism as well, and for your body's recovery. It goes hand in hand with that. But also when we wake up, we're in a better mood. We then want to hit the day well, get a nutritious breakfast in, etc., etc. And that's also going to play into the role of the diet as well. Cool. So to finalize weekly goal setting, what I want you to do in your books is on this page, I want you to put for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, what your nutritional goal is. So I want you to pick 2 out of the 3 we've talked about. So we've talked about sleep, caffeine, and alcohol, and fluid intake. So there's 4, I guess. And I want you to pick 2 of them, and I want you to go through all the days and have your nutritional goal. So your nutritional goal could be have 2 coffees a day instead of having 4. And just go through that, what you're going to change every single day, and if you'll actually kind of make it realistic. So think of our smarter goals and have a look at it that way as well. For the physical activity goal, I want you to have a look at, obviously, it helps with our sleep. So when could we exercise to get a better sleep? Could we push our bodies a little bit more? So sleep is required as well. So it leads to that recovery period again. So next session, we're going to be back to session 1, guys. So probably one of the most important sessions. We're going to be looking at calorie deficits, calorie surpluses, how the core baseline of losing weight. So that should be an interesting session. So we'll be going over that and looking at the Eat Well guide for vegans, vegetarians, and sort of the standard Eat Well guide you can see on your screen there. But yeah, thank you for listening. If you have any questions, of course, come chat to me when I see you, but I'll be seeing you hopefully next week. So yeah, well done, guys.